It sounds like a very big no. But hey, I think I'd like to know what you're driving at. Like, what situation have you found yourself in? Hello, confessions. Make it back. Hello, confessions.
No.
You have a confession?
Yeah, it's kind of in a question actually.
Okay, go ahead. Speak up for us. Go ahead.
Yeah, please you have to manage my voice. I don't want the next door neighbor to hear my voice.
Uh-oh. All right, we'll try.
Yeah, there's this thing that people like it comes in a warning for me that they say when I start making money I should do this, I should do that. For example, I don't know, I can't find the right English to use right now, but in Yoruba they will say I should borrow, I should borrow.
Bori Boshon.
Yes.
When you start saying money.
Yeah, like when I start making money, I think I should be doing those things.
Oh.
In my own opinion, in my own understanding or belief, it is against my own belief, I think, right? And it's beginning to give me concern because lately, honestly speaking, I've been having a whole lot of orders, and like how it has been. So I'm thinking if I should I do all those things they are asking me to do? So
Okay. Let me ask, what does it mean, Bori Boshon? What does that mean?
Like a diabolical thing, kind of. Maybe your guest that is coming on by two can shed more light to it. Because
you can't tell me what you mean.
It is also in line with those Ifa faith kind of things.
Yeah, but tell me what it means. I mean, let me think before my guest gets here. Hey.
It means I will go to some kind of deity, and then they will ask me to do some things.
Some sacrifice?
In form of sacrifices. I don't really know what it means per se, or they just call it Bori Boshun.
Yeah, if you don't know what it means, how can you do it? Like, first of all, it means you don't even.
Like they describe it and they told me these are the things I should. Like,
who told you?
It comes in form of message from people.
It comes in. Who told you that? Is a person a prophet, mom, dad, sister, lover?
Yeah, they call themselves prophets. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you ascribe to them and their prophecy? Like, do you worship their God? Because you're sounding like you're supposed to go anywhere and make a sacrifice to any god.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said it is against my own personal belief.
Then why are you bothered if it's against your own belief? What's your belief?
Your guest some time ago I've mentioned that if consulting it is not contrary or opposing to what God beyond.
You're letting my guest think for you. Have you no conviction in your own heart?
Honestly, I think I am lost in your guest.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, I can think something, but you must be persuaded by your own actions. What do you worship? Okay, let's begin. What do you worship? Do you worship a god?
God, the Almighty God, the Creator of the universe.
Okay, if you say you worship Almighty God, when they tell you Bori Boshun, is it to whom now? The God, to the one you worship, or to their God, whoever that is?
That I can answer. I don't know. I don't have answer to that.
You should ask them now, guys. Don't you think you need to ask them? If someone met me now and said Bori Boshun, and I'm thinking, what's that? And then they say, go sacrifice. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
to whom?
Extra things I should do before I can, like, so I can keep prospering in life. Yes.
They're what? They're what?
They say there are extra things I should do, which is to Bori and I should Boshun.
To Bori and to Boshun. So these are so maybe they mean that these gods have an influence over your life more than your God does over your life. So at this point, you're probably worshiping like 3 gods from what they're saying.
Oh no, that's not.
You can't say you don't know because at this point you are the object.
I don't know. I said, oh no.
Okay, good. Oh, so you're not worshiping 3. Good. We're narrowing it down at this point. So, can you see why you have to answer your own question?
I think I am lost in my own thoughts. Others, I don't know. If others can as well call in to share more light if they have any idea of, yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you for calling, by the way. Thank you. Confessions Thursday. 99.3 Nigeria Info. If you have a confession, exactly, you're here and we're live. 99.3 Nigeria Info's the sunny side. When you're calling, you don't say your name. Hello.
Hello, Joyce.
Welcome. Turn up the volume of your radio set.
I'm sorry. Let me walk out.
Do you have a... Turn up the volume, I beg you.
I am no longer there.
I don't know if it's enough for me, as long as I don't hear the echo.
Oh, okay. I've gone into another room.
Oh, good. Do you have a...
Are you okay now?
Yes, thank you.
Now, the last caller, I would say, my people perish for lack of knowledge.
You have 1 minute, real quick.
I may take more than 1 minute. I just want to explain something to you. Bori means appease your head. You know, in Yoruba land, we believe your head leads you wherever you go. Wherever your head leads you, that's where your feet would walk. Oshun is the river Oshun, the goddess. Now, long before I was born, my mom had been in 2 marriages, no issue, no child, before she met my dad. So my grandmother had gone to this Oshun or Batala people. And behold, just when I turned 59, I just started my body healing. Earlier, I had seen patches of yellowish patches on my body. Mm-hmm. But I just saw that my body was peeling. At the end of the day, it turned out to be vitiligo. The hospital, I did a lot of biopsy, nothing. Mm-hmm. I was walking along the road one day when one of these women who dressed in white called me and looked at me and said, I had better not let this thing eat me up. I'm a Christian. I had better not let this thing eat me up. I said, what do I do? He said, I owe that deity something, and I need to go and pay what I owe. Meanwhile, I'm not the one owing. It's my grandmother that did all this. So I had to go to elders in Ikorodu. I asked them. They told me, well, I'm not part of you, but I'll give you money to do whatever you want to do. And I called I should go and give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Okay. He may not know about it, but if there's a debt to pay, my dear Joyce, he has to pay it. I'm sorry. I'm okay now. They had to give me something made from shea butter and and snail slime, and they mixed it up. I didn't go to their shrine. I didn't go anywhere. They brought it to me at home.
And you're fine.
It. Joyce, if I tell you, well, not everything left, but the one on my face disappeared. The one on my hands, to some extent, disappeared. It's only the ones on my feet that didn't disappear.
What price did Christ pay? Because you say, well, you worship Christ, and then you also say that, well, you give to Caesar what Caesar's. And I can understand the implication of giving to Caesar's what Caesar's, but you cannot have two masters. So you say, well, you don't worship them. Yeah, but so are you free of this debt that Christ could not pay for you?
If you say so, I won't argue with you.
Oh, okay.
I wonder how many prayer mountains they will have to go until it gets.
So that's the problem. You don't need to go to the mountain. The whole purpose of the resurrection is that now there is Christ everywhere. You don't need to be anywhere. I mean, there was God everywhere at the time, but you need not be anywhere else but in your heart, in spirit and in truth. You need not be anywhere else. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the clarity. Thank you. You see, her story is particularly interesting because it was her grandmother who went to borrow and she had to pay back. Confessions Thursday. When you're calling, you don't say your name.
Hello.
Yes. Do you have a confession?
Hello, Joyce.
Welcome. Good afternoon to the show.
Welcome. God bless
Thank
you.
you. You have a confession, right?
Thank you. No, let me talk about what this woman just speak about.
Okay, real quick.
Give me a little time, please.
Well, a minute and a half.
You know, I told you I worship those things because I was born into it.
Okay.
But by the time, you know, those things frustrated my life for a long time.
Oh.
Even when I want to get married. But when I received Christ into my life, Joyce, all things change. All those things they used to come and collect money, sacrifice whatsoever, he stopped. Even when the herbalist, if he saw me, he will take another route. I tell you the truth.
Okay.
Then my mother, when he now saw things begin to change for me, she herself received Christ and throw those things away. I cannot give anything that belongs to Caesar because Christ has paid those things for me. Joyce, thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Confessions Thursday. Make it back. 0700 993 993 993 and 01465 7190. Hello.
No.
Confessions Thursday. Do you have a confession?
Good afternoon.
Welcome. Good afternoon. Do you have a confession?
Yes. I don't have a confession. I want to contribute.
You have a minute.
Yeah. What I want to say is this. John chapter 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was with Him. And that Word is the light of men. I don't want that boy to go astray. Let him not go astray. Let him just...
What if he's a child of Oshun? At this point, he don't even know to whom he belongs. So, what if he was gotten from... What was the thing he said again? Bori means to go and worship washing your head. Oshun is the river. So who knows? He could be from the Bori or the Oshun. Who knows at this point? Except he believes. But he doesn't quite appear that he's sure which now to believe. Christ, not sure. Caesar and all Caesar's boys, he's not sure. Confessions. 0700 993 993 993 and 01465 7190. And thanks to everyone who's trying to help us comprehend Bori Boshun. You say it would mean go and pay homage, make sacrifice to the Oshun River, something like that. Ori is head. Thank you. Thank you. Confessions Thursday. When you're calling, you don't say your name and your confessions exactly. We're hearing them. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello, welcome. What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome. Do you have a confession? Don't say your name. Do you have a confession?
Let me shed light on what that boy said. Just give me a few minutes.
I don't have a few minutes for you. I'm going to give you a minute. I hope you've collected your thoughts. 1 minute. Let's get to it.
Okay. Boring of head is not a bad thing. Even in the Bible, the Bible said it, all power belongs to God, and all power works for God. All forces work for God. God created them for specific mission. God cannot be in everywhere. That's why God created those deities as a co-worker to work for Him. God cannot be here. That's why He formed those energies, those forces to work. Even devil himself is a worker of God.
So at this point, he can worship anyone that makes themselves present. He can worship the devil, Oshun, Oshibo.
Yeah, most human beings do not love God and devil. Devil love God, and God created devil for that mission. God created devil to be.
Wait! Are you tapped? You sound off. What do you mean? Devil loves God?
Yeah, I'm shedding light.
No. At this point, I don't think you need to share this light. I think you need to open a YouTube channel. Yeah, you really need to write a book about how you believe, how you know the devil is your friend, and how the devil should be worshipped. I mean, I know you're not crazy, but that sounds like all kinds of crazy. I would even prefer if you said you were a devil worshiper, and then you introduce us to your concepts. But to say something like that, it's like, no. Hello, welcome to the show. Someone says that people misinterpret give what is Caesar's to Caesar's. He says the context is Christ talking about government tax, not the bowing down before other gods. Well, thank you very much for that one. Confessions Thursday. Hello. The sunny side. Welcome. The volume of your radio set. 99.3 Nigeria Info Confessions Thursday. Hello, Joyce. How are you doing? It's so good to have you back. I can't wait for the Lords of Logic. Well, we're just a few minutes away from there. Well, these interpretations are particularly interesting. Joyce, Bori means to worship your head, your creator. From people living within my environment, people use the fish, Abori-eja, plus water to Bori. People use fish, Abori-eja, plus water to Bori. Bo Oshun means to go and worship Oshun, the river goddess, for prosperity. Anonymous from Ijegun. Thank you very much. So here, you're talking about the worship of two different things, or at least I'm assuming you're talking about the worship of two different things. People worship fish, or a type of fish plus water, and then you say means to go, the Boshun means to go worship Oshun, the river goddess. This morning, I read about the mythology out of Mesopotamia, and it's similar to this thing you guys are talking about today. In fact, there was a planet called Tiamat. And Tiamat is a myth according to Mesopotamia, where Tiamat is a kind of between Tiamat. What's this other weird name again? So basically, the reason would be salt water and fresh water had conflict. And somehow that conflict eventually was done with, and then from their strains emerged children, well, I would say gods. And then there's another place, another god emerged, and the god fought this fresh water and salt water, and that god, whom is also represented in Greek mythology as Zeus, became the ruler of heavens. So here, I think what I'm realizing from our conversation today, which is very particularly revealing, is that we're talking about fallen gods here. And I would like to say that just so that if you are confused, you wouldn't be. Tiamat is, that's the thing you would have to read if you want to see how this Nigerian myth, or say Nigerian culture, is also present in another culture, Mesopotamia specifically. So you do Tiamat, Tiamat. Yeah, you just Google that and read about it. So it's just similar. Apparently we've heard tales of two rivers fighting, fresh water, salt water. I've heard that before growing up as a child. I didn't know what it meant. But then now we know that these things that we see in nature are also in human history, and in human history are gods, and not just peculiar to Africa, but somewhere else, Mesopotamia. So if you Google that, you would see, what you see, and it might broaden our conversation. Now, the question is, would you want to worship these gods? That's, I think, say the next obvious question. Tiamat, Tiamat. All right. Confessions Thursday. That's one discovery today. I'll ask that you read about it. We're going to quickly go off on a break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to Confessions Thursday with Joyce on the sunny side.
Lagos. So if you missed it and you haven't heard, well, listen up, because this is your chance to become a millionaire overnight. Yes, and it's all happening on the Money Point weekly games brought to you by Money Point. Yes, Lagos. So I've been saying this time and time without numbers. Money Point, the trusted bank behind Nigeria's most reliable system, the Blue Plus that we all know and see everywhere. Well, they're unveiling a new personal banking app and a card that works. That means from now on, it's easier than ever to send and receive money, pay bills, buy airtime, data, and renew subscriptions. So you can forget about failed transactions, as this bank really works. Now, to even make this app more exciting, up until October 1st, all Money Point's personal banking app users will stand a chance to win millions of naira every week. I'm talking in the next 2 weeks. Two lucky winners walk away with 4 million naira. The money is confusing me. It's a lot there. There's 4 million naira to be won. There's 10 million naira to be won by one lucky person, and there's 2,000 naira to be won by thousands of people. So what are you waiting for? You could be part of these people. To be one of these winners, download the Money Points works from the app and use your card or your app to transact daily to accumulate coins. And once you've done that, click the play now button on the game banner and play the game of the week. Remember, Lagos, that the more you transact, the more your chances of winning. Okay, so do not miss out on this. This is a limited promotion. Don't say I didn't tell you. So act now.
You're listening to Confessions Thursday with Niside.
All right, please be with you, and so believe that this should trigger some curiosity in your mind. Tiamat, ancient Mesopotamia mythology, the primordial goddess who was the personification of the salt water and the mother of the gods, also associated with chaos of creation. We're going to come down here and talk about, she was a Abzu, personification of fresh water beneath the earth, at the source of a family of gods with whom she eventually went to war. She was slain by Marduk, the chief god of the city of Babylon. We're going to come down here, and the last two sentences read, Tiamat was sometimes portrayed as a serpent or a dragon, and these images have inspired creatures in modern popular culture. Off on a break, we'll be right back.
It's here again. It's the 5th edition of the Community Marathon Series, taking place in Ikoyi, Lagos State. Run to win or run for fun. Be part of Ikoyi 10-kilometer road race on the 28th of October, 2023. This race is organized by Lexicon Communications and Kukuruku Incorporated, and is proudly supported by MultiChoice Nigeria, Cool FM, Wazobia FM, Nigeria Info, the official media partners of the Community Marathon Series. For sponsorship and advert information, please call us on 0811-148-2950 or 0803-495-7006. To register, visit www.communitymarathon.com. Ikoyi 10-kilometer road race. It's another festival of fitness.
We've done it twice, and we're doing it again. Are you ready? Agboya Link Up is back, and this time we're teaming up with Landmark to give you the party of the year. Mark your calendars for the 8th of October 2023 at Landmark Beach for a day of nostalgia, laughter, fun, and unforgettable memories. We will be blasting your favorite tunes after party ever. For tickets, sponsorships, and inquiries, reach out to Agboya Link Up on Instagram and Twitter or call 0810-073-0222. Don't miss the ultimate party of the year, Agboya Link Up, because growing up is optional. This event is sponsored by Mirinda, Pot TV, and the Connecting Bridge.
Title that can only be earned, not given.
It's barely been 2 years since the launch of the e-Naira, and you're already pessimistic about it.
Most of the land dispute issues we have in our country are settled by this traditional rulers.
Voting is more than just a choice. It is a civic duty.
How does 15 naira lead to high charges?
The title that everyone wants, but only the best can claim.
There are other factors affecting the child's performance in the test. Oh, I find it hard to understand this. I want to learn more.
Nigeria suffers unstable network connections. About 91 million Nigerians are still living below the poverty line.
Everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person. Nobody wants to associate with an irresponsible person.
I beg to differ. Coming soon.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. You're listening to Confessions Thursday with Joyce on the sunny side.
.3 Nigeria Info. Someone is saying, I think you're trying to remember the planet Nibiru and the Anunnakis who came from the planet. The ancients, Mesopotamia, had similar story to the flood story. Well, that's someone who's curious enough to, but I was specifically referring to, hold on. The Mesopotamian myth you outlined is the reason why salt and freshwater bodies don't mix. Thank you very much. Well, so I think that, oh, really? But yeah, I also think that there is something, I think it also underscores something else, that there are gods who have been symbolized by water or waters. So, I mean, there's a god for the salt water. There's a god for, I mean, Oshun at this point, if we scrutinize documented mythology from other traditions, we can see how we're not different. They're just different names, but the characterizations are the same. I just wanted to underscore that. And so if anyone wanted to understand, and this is me just randomly thinking out loud, if anyone wanted to understand the Bori Bosh, then I would say that you can simplistically ask yourself the question of, would you worship, for example, this god that is god of, someone said that they in her area they use a fish. So I don't know if you also worship that fish in any way. Well, I think you can determine whether you want this god who's symbolized using this fish, or that's the Bori, right? Then which edge? You know what? Let me not bother about it. But I read a message here. She said in her village or her community, they Bori with a certain type of fish. Then you can determine whether you want to worship a god to whom their symbolism is a fish somewhere in your backyard. Just, yeah. Like at this point, what kind of god would that be? That's really what I'm driving at. Like, you worship a god, and the god is the spirit of the fish. Are we playing? All right, Confessions Thursday. My name's Joyce, and yes, you can read Tiamat and Murdoch. And Murdoch is Zeus. Yeah, because I've been reading about Zeus the last few days, so you might want to check that out and see the comparison. When you're calling, you don't say your name. It's 99.3 Nigeria Info. Hello, make it back. The sunny side. Welcome, 99.3 Nigeria Info. And yes, I really do appreciate these curious WhatsApp messages from people who, I mean, don't masturbate and instead choose to read a book. That's inspiring. I mean, for the first time in a while, I'm not hearing people talk about masturbation issues. Like, we can talk about like real serious stuff. Hello, welcome. Confessions Thursday.
Good afternoon, Joy.
Good to have you. Welcome.
Yes, I need.
Do you have it? Okay, sure. Let's hear it.
I need an advice.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a nephew.
Mm-hmm.
She is now in SS2.
Nice.
As in the new academic year.
Yeah.
He lost his mom when he was in GSS2.
Mm-hmm.
The dad has not really come for him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't call. He's a useless man. So, man, sorry to say.
He probably is.
So then in SS1, when he got to SS1, I think he told his classmates I wasn't his mother, which did not even come from me. He told all his classmates I wasn't his mother, I was his number. Then he told his classmates about his dad also, how the dad was useless. And I tried to question him.
Yeah.
So in SS2, I think 2 weeks ago, this thing happened 2 weeks ago. He called somebody a bastard in the class. And that person replied in that, well, I have a father to go home to. You do have a father to go home to. Since that 2 weeks now, he has been thinking, has been crying, and I don't even know how to help him out. So I don't know.
Are you male or female? You're female.
I'm a female.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
a female.
Okay.
So the only thing, what I can't say is this poison that you gave to somebody, they gave it to you, because he's still a kid, he's still a man.
Yeah.
So me, it's just to see in December. So I just don't know what to say.
Who's raising him? Who's raising him right now? Like, under whose
Me. He's staying with me.
Do you have a husband, brother?
No, I'm a single mother.
Oh, I see. So, yeah. Well, he needs to understand that life happens. He needs to, yeah. See, this experience is good. I think you think it's tragic, but it's good for him. Now he needs to understand what this is. And I hope you can tell him, if you can sit down and have a conversation with him as to what has happened to him and why he should not allow this situation determine what happens of his life. But maybe also now he has to learn regard for other people. Like, don't call someone a bastard, particularly if you could be referred to as an obvious one.
And he refused talking to that classmate. I've called the classmate, I've warned him that you don't do that, try and apologize to him. But he's not budging at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think the problem is the classmate. The problem is him. Now he needs to understand what to do with all of this because he wants to have a father and his father isn't there. And then his mom is not there either. So you are the mom and the dad, and God help you. But I think one way you can manage this is to have honest conversations with him. I'm glad this situation is not hidden from him because that would be worse. So I think that you should say to him, well, you know your father isn't here. Well, you have to be better than your dad, and you have to make that decision today. And that includes many things. Like you have to respect other people. And you have to swear to yourself to never be anything like your dad so that you don't repeat this succession pattern where you think your dad is useless. Well, if you're not careful, you don't want to be as useless as your dad.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Well done, and I wish you well.
Thank you.
It must really be a tough job, really. Thank you. Confessions Thursday, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good to have you here. It's Confessions Thursday. Do you have a confession?
No, I don't have a confession.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joyce, I want to ask a question. You always ask people worshiping God. How do we worship God? Do we know exactly what God wants? Are we doing what God wants? Worshiping of God, I'm always surprised because I believe that no man has ever known exactly what
I didn't
God
ask you
wants.
to worship God. Are you
No,
as...
not me. I'm talking about how you are addressing the whole thing.
Do you have a better
Talking about-
argument? Do you have a better argument?
No. I'm just
Wait,
trying
if
to
you don't like what I
say-
say, I can understand it. But if you don't
No,
have
no,
a better
I don't like
argument,
it. No,
say,
not that I don't like what you're saying. No. What I'm trying to say that human beings supposed to know that God is everything. That person you call God. And what did you want?
that's not the subject
It's
matter.
not-
That was not the. Someone called for a different reason. He's talking about Bori
Let
Boshu.
me land. Worshiping of God is trying to know what exactly human being wants and do it.
That you're going off point at this point. I'm sorry, I can't entertain this. You're going off point. What he was referring to is not what you are. You are. It's Confessions Thursday. I'm sorry. I'm not going to entertain that. I want to read this one so I can seize the opportunity to call him out on his ignorance. He says, I beg to differ with your use of Greek mythology in referencing African traditional religious practices or Ifa mythology. The guy that was advised to make appeasement to Oshun and his head and was blabbing shows how Africans have been so brainwashed. All right. He says, and I quote, the guy who is blabbing shows how Africans have been so brainwashed and remain in the background in the scheme of things in the world. We need to go back to our root, pure and simple. Samuel Adeshina from Victoria Island. So Samuel, the problem with when you put out a commentary like this is you expose yourself to your own errors. And then you expose other people to your own errors. So remember that Africa, until history, many of our traditions practiced were not documented. In fact, maybe I think the last 50 years, we couldn't necessarily find any actual documentations of, for example, the religious practices in Africa. It therefore means that what people have would be oral hand-downs. Fathers, uncles, your cultures, that's what people have. And so I can understand the position of the young man in the absence of having anything solid to lean on, who has emerged from a cultural background into a modern society where he claims to be Christian, but now struggles to know what should I do in terms of, do I go Oshun or do I do Oshun and this one? And who's the other one? Yeah? Do I Bori or do I do Oshun? And he doesn't know. And I can understand that. And so I thought that his most straightforward answer would be conviction. Except you worship three gods, so you see that. And I can understand his confusion. You are saying he's brainwashed and you do not provide him any recourse. You do not bring a superior argument, but you have stabbed him by saying, well, you're brainwashed. And here you haven't said anything superior, anything better. You haven't provided any insight. You have not exercised any better judgment, but you sent me a message to say that he is brainwashed. There isn't proof here that you yourself are not brainwashed, because what exactly, when you go back to your history, what exactly are you going back to? I get it. In fact, I would love for you to go back. I've discovered the logic. You go back to your history. Would you worship the father of your gods? Do you remember the conversation on the Lords of Logic? Absolutely. I insist that you go back. But what exactly are you going back to? Did your fathers understand it? Do you understand it? And so I made a reference to where I have seen something similar. Something I read about Tiamat and Murdoch. In fact, in science, Tiamat was a planet. Did you know that? Yeah, but in mythology, it is represented as a god. Did you know that? But you're talking about someone being brainwashed. It's necessary that we at least exercise curiosity when we hear things that appear to be unfamiliar. 1, 2, when we hear things that may require us to become introspective or to at least interrogate a philosophy or an argument. I would ask that when you're not sure about something, the least you can do is to extend regard to the person. That's the least you can do. If you call them brainwashed and you do not exercise any superior form of judgment. And it's funny because, he asked a question. And you try to come up with what? Because this is not an answer, so what's this? You're speaking because you want to speak, not because you have something to say. Well, I needed to underscore that. And yes, the gods are fallen gods, if you're wondering. At least that's what I discovered. So you can choose whether you want to bow before the fallen gods. History tells you about both unknown gods and gods that they claim to know. It's in your historical documentations, and many of these mythologies are similar. You look at the Greek mythology, you look at the Chinese, you look at the Indian mythology, you look at Mesopotamia, you look at this other one. All civilizations have mythologies, and they're practically saying just about the same thing. So, that narrows it down, right? All right. Confessions Thursday.
You're listening to Confessions Thursday with Joyce on the sunny side.
Welcome. It's Confessions Thursday. When you're calling, you don't say your name. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. Do you have a confession?
Yes. So I've been on the show before, and last when I came, I just wanted to tell them everyone that masturbation is deadly. Please run away from it. I've been doing it before, and to be honest, almost destroyed me. Please run away from it.
I think you're the guy who said he had a sexual affair with his brother. Are you the guy? I think you sound like that guy. I like the fact that, someone says I'm brainwashing Nigerians. This has got to be funny. Joyce, you are brainwash many Nigerians on your show all the time. Why do you do that? Does it mean you do not believe in Jesus Christ? I'll be damned if I had a reaction to that. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. And by the way, I must admit that I like the fact that many of you are interestingly thinking about that Bori Boshun. I would have thought that was negligible, but on WhatsApp, I'm having people particularly consider the separations. And I'm seeing people talk about mythology. And it's particularly insightful to know that in your moments of silence, there are things that you question. Bori Boshun. But wait, I think, can you tell us someone who Boris and who Boshuns and is successful? because maybe that may give us additional information. Because hey, if you don't bury and you don't boshun, you may be okay. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud now that people are also thinking about it. But yes, it's Confessions Thursday. It's 99.3 Nigeria Info. Revelations and secrets on the sunny side. My name is Joyce. When you call in, you don't say your name. The volume, and are you ready?
Joyce.
Yes, welcome. You have a confession?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Please, I just want to get an advice from you.
Just speak up, okay? Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Please go ahead.
I want to get an advice from you, and it's a very big problem for me. I am this type of person that whatever I see in my dream comes to pass. There is nothing I've dreamed that is not both positive and negative. But the one that is really giving me issues seriously right now, especially, is the negative one. Because if the positive one comes to pass, I will not be worried.
Mm-hmm.
But when the negative one comes to pass, it's giving me some issues. Like, for instance, if God give me a revelation that I sleep and I dream that somebody was there and the person died, and that maybe in some cases I will have an opportunity to talk to the person, but my husband will not want me to talk. He'll be like, he will always tell me that people does not want to hear negativity. When you pass this type of message, what do you think that they will see you? Maybe when the thing happens, they might stone you, they will see you be this, you are that. So constantly it has always stopped me from passing that message, and when the thing happens, you just look at me. So this time around, I'm not finding it more funny again. I'm not finding it funny again. Recently, my landlady, I got a dream that my landlady, something happened to the child and the son. And I couldn't approach it. As I'm talking to you, the boy is gone, the only son. And I couldn't approach it. So a lot of things. So I don't know. I just called for you to help me. Do you know that the one that nearly killed me? I don't know, Joyce, are you hearing me?
Yes, I am listening. Go ahead, please.
Yes. The one that is nearly killed me this week is this one. I had a dream, like this young man that died. This young man that they called before this one, there is a celebrity child. And the revelation I'm having is not just within my theory. As far as I know you, maybe I've seen your show. I'm listening, like as I'm listening to your show. One day I might sleep, God told me, give me a message about you. I must not know you, but as soon as I've come across your picture, I'm listening to you, or I'm watching your events, message can come.
Yeah.
And about it. And when that thing comes, for instance, if it is you now, I will not have access. I might feel like, how will I come and tell you something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So I will not be able to come to you to tell you that thing.
Yeah.
Before a celebrity child died, I had a dream that this boy was taken. He's gone. They say he's not going to last. The message came clearly. I woke up. I told my husband, came over. You know, as I see what I saw, this guy, see what happened. The boy died. They concluded. My sister is not up to 1 week. This child died.
Yeah.
And I could not sleep in my house. 2 weeks I could not sleep. Whenever I see the picture on the internet, I'll be crying. I'll be feeling like I'm the one that killed the child.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. So, look, I can't even help you, but I can help you understand. Oh, don't cry. No. Oh, no, please don't cry. So let's understand it so that you know what to do.
Now I have no sleep because of something like that.
Yeah.
I have no sleep. I'm dying.
I also think it's because you're hurting.
I woke up one of this morning. I called my husband and told him it's like I've not really discovered who I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've not really discovered who I am. But the thing is that whenever it happens, he will be the first person. The only person I will give that message is him.
Mm-hmm.
But he will shut me down. He will say, don't stop. You can be giving me message. I'm here. You can be giving my family. I don't have church. I'm just in my house. Nobody say I have anything. But I just in my house. I'm a Catholic. I'm a charismatic. But I stay in my house. I don't give anybody message. But I see it. Unless I know you. Maybe my family people, I give them.
No.
So I don't know.
Yes.
This one, now, when it comes to maybe popular person or celebrity, I sleep and God show me something. I cannot go to the person and the thing happens, I'll be dying.
Oh, no.
I'll be crying like I killed the person.
Oh no, please! I don't want you to feel that way. I don't want you to feel that way. So let me explain something.
I don't know.
Look. Let me explain something to you. I really can't help you, but I know I can help you understand your situation. How about that?
Please help me.
Okay,
Anyhow
wait.
you can help me.
Okay, good. But please don't cry. We can fix this once we understand it. Can we try to understand it together? Okay, good. Okay. So when you have a gift as that, you automatically have responsibility. Can you understand that? Yeah. So it means, so responsibility in this regard can be you do nothing or you do something. You see that? Now, in you trying to do something, your husband tells you, don't do it. Now you have encountered a stymide, an obstacle of a sort. You must overcome that obstacle. You must, because you have a duty to do or not to do. You don't know why you have this gift, but you just know you have the gift. But now you automatically, because you have the gift, you have a responsibility to do or not to do, to allow or not to allow. Yeah? So you say to your husband, if we have a close family member and I see a vision about them, I must tell them. Do you know why you should tell them?
No.
Okay. You tell them because they may be able to prevent it. So when you see a vision,
yes, because when you tell them yes, they can pray and it will be less.
Good.
When it's not here,
yes,
it will come to pass. Yes,
you get it. I like where I find you right now. You're right in that zone. Good. But when you don't tell them, I can understand the feeling of you feeling guilty because you did nothing. In fact, I think I'll agree with you of the sense of guilt because you did nothing.
Yes.
Yes. So here, you have to discuss that with your husband. You don't have to know the person. You don't have to be able to have a contact with the person. If you know what to do there on their behalf. Do you understand that? No, wait, no. At this point, so this universe is a action-reaction universe. We are all partaking in the creation of this reality. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Good. So you doing nothing or you doing something is an action in this reality. Can you understand that?
Joyce, recently, like I told you, I started noticing that this is an assignment for me. That is why I comforted my husband and said, it's like I have not really discovered who I am. Because it is many. It is one too many. And I'm keeping quiet and it is happening. And after it happens, I will be dying. He will not talk to me. He will just leave me. I will be dying. I will not eat. I will not sleep.
Yeah.
I cannot go internet. So the thing is really affecting me more than him because I'm the one suffering it now.
Yes, very good.
So I need to do something. That is why I concluded to call you today.
Okay, good.
Any advice you can give me?
So my advice to you is, if there are people around you can tell, you will say to them, so I can understand your husband's fear, because I remember I saw a vision of my neighbor, and in my vision, she was going to have twins. And so I told her, and the first question she asked me was, are you a witch? And I thought, yeah.
That's what he said. They would say you are a witch.
You know, she was like, and then when I told her she wasn't pregnant, a month later, she told me she was pregnant. And a few months after that, she went to the clinic to get her ultrasound, something like that. And came back and told me, I have twins. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. So we're there now, right? But I can understand, she's Muslim. And when I remember, every time I remember the question of, are you a witch? I can understand what society or how society feels about people who have these gifts. So there's also another way you can tell them. You can say to them, well, I would like for you to pray about something, and I want you to take it seriously because I saw it in the dream and it would just be good if you prayed about it. Okay, fantastic. Okay, hold on a second. I want to go off on a break. So you can also go off and call me back if that's okay.
Okay.
All right, Lagos, we're off on a break. We'll be right back.
It don't come again, no. Now the 5th edition of the Community Marathon Series, where they happen for Ikoyi inside Lagos State. Come run for Ikoyi 10-kilometer road race on the 28th of October 2023. Now Lexicon Communications and Kukuruku Incorporated, they organize this race, and it is proudly supported by Multi-Choice Nigeria, Cool FM, Wazobia FM, and the Nigeria Info, when they be the official media partners of the
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe.